Okay, so I found this little picture frame, and it had this on the front and said something on it, but I just popped that off and sanded this down and took all the stickers off the back and sanded the back lightly. I was going to try and take this stand off, but I was afraid I'd break it. So I am going to very carefully paint around that. But I'm going to start off with my Waverly chalk paint and ink, and I am going to paint around just the edges because I'm actually going to put paper over the top of this and then make sure I get the sides and the back really good. So I'm going to start with that. Alright, so now that I have it painted around the edges, I decided I am not going to distress it. But I don't know, can you see? Yeah, you can see in there. I even painted, that was rough painting in there. So what I'm going to do now is I have my paper picked out that I'm going to use. I got this out of a pack that I got from Hobby Lobby. And I am just going to turn it over and then trace this. I'm going to set that aside for a second. So what I'm going to do is cut this down probably about 1/4 of an inch shorter than what it actually is, because I want it a little smaller. I think I'm going to have to cut that side down just a little bit. So now get my glue here. Beacon's Fabric Tech glue, always. And then I am just going to put this glue all over the paper, like so. Oops, and turn it around here. Place it where I want it and press it down. Alright, so I picked out this rub-on. I got these from Amazon as well. Called the Old Churches, I believe. So what I want to do first is line this up with the frame. I did paint that a little bit, kind of with some watered down black ink. Same as what I used on that. But I want to line this up so that I can cut the edge here, so that it doesn't show. I don't know if this will right on here. Yep, good enough. And then I can just use my scissors for this. Okay, I think that's going to be good. But of course, anything I use, I will always try to leave a link in the description box. So it transfers. You just take it off the sheet, place it down where you want it. That's perfect. And then they normally all, no matter where you get them from, come with something to rub them down with. And of course, I have so many in my stash now. Need to start giving them away. Something, crafting, making crafts out of them. And then you just rub across it. Some go down really good, some you have to rub really hard. Okay. So then once it's all down, you just take the, I guess, carrier sheet and rub over it. Make sure you get all the bubbles out and that it's flat. That feels good. This one says, perhaps this is the moment for which you have been created, by Esther 4:14. All right, so then I'm just going to put a little glue. So I have one of those little clothespins, miniature clothespins, and I just took some watered down chalk paint, the ink, the Waverly, and went over it real good, and then wiped it back and then dried it. And now I am going to put a little glue on here, and I am going to glue this right here in the center. Alright, so now I just need to decide where I want the bows. I was thinking this as a picture holder. And I'm going to glue that down right there. Went to a little, kind of like a flea market antique place. I'm in Plainfield, and I got a bundle of fabric for $11, and this ribbon was around the fabric. I thought, how nice. Alright, so I'm going to put my beads on here. Alright, so no, don't you dare. Wrinkle my ribbon here. Got a big old air bubble on the end of my glue. Alright, so I have my bows down. So I'm just going to figure out where I want my beads to kind of lay. And then I will tie a knot at the end. Oh. And that's good. This side here is really thin. The ends off just a little bit. Good. and I will go ahead and glue my beads down where I want them. Yeah, that'll be good right there. I have these, I got these from Temu. These are just the cutest little things. I didn't mean to pour out that many, but they're just tiny little flowers, resin flowers. I thought those were so cute. So, it's tiny, guys. Y'all know how I work with tiny stuff. Not very well. This works. I need my tweezers, I think. Oh yeah, that is cute. All right. I like the little butterfly. I'm going to paint that pink though. I'll do that in a minute. So now I'm just going to take just a little bit of glue here. So this is glass, German glitter glass, authentic Victoria era. And this I got, it's called Chunky Silver from ReneeBouquet.com. So I am just going to take a little bit of that and sprinkle it here in the corner. All right, I got it painted pink. I went ahead and did both sides. Got a little blue on here. And we're going to put it up here in the corner. Guys, I have glitter glued to my fingers. Hilarious. All right. And I think I'm gonna call this one complete because I don't want to add too much to it. Okay, so I found this little plaque, I think, at the Goodwill. I just cut the hanger off of it, sanded it down, made sure if there was any raised part on the lettering, I got that down. So I am going to take the Waverly chalk paint and ink again, and I am going to just do the edges of this. I'm not going to paint in the center, just like I did the other piece. This, I want to make this one kind of match that one. So, no sense in putting paper or paint in the middle when I'm just going to put paper over it. I did get some of the paint off my hands. And I am actually going to do both sides because I'm going to make both of the sides match. Alright, I'm going to set that aside for just a second. And get my nifty cutter here again. And then I've already traced the paper with my piece. So I am just going to cut it out like I did the last one. And I am going to make this one just a little bit shorter again. Then, oh here, I should probably put this way first. Go ahead and use that as a template. Even though I drew that out. And just make sure these are the same size. Yep. Alright. Then get my glue. And this will just be like a little shelf setter. Alright, put that one down. Perfect. And actually, before I glue this other side, this is the little transfer that I'm going to use. It says, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And that is by Psalms 139:14. So I'm going to put this down and rub it on real quick. My husband and I paused and went for a bike ride down the road and back. And of course, down the road and back is probably 2 or 3 miles because we live out in the middle of nowhere. And we got caught in the rain coming back, so that was fun. All we could do is laugh. Alright, now I will glue this one down. Alright, so I'm going to take this bow. I'm going to take this ribbon and I'm going to make a little bow. And then, yes, some twine. A little tiny twine bow here, real quick. There we go. And then I almost forgot. I'm going to paint this little wooden heart. And I'm going to move that. Okay, so I am not sure. Maybe I have these little flowers here, which I've used these on quite a few things, but this is just a different color. These come from Renee Bouquet. And then I'm trying to do that. Okay, I think I'm going to glue the bows down first. I think I'm going to go straight in the middle. Alright, and then the twine. There we go. I think that's cute down there. It blends in with the little flowers from the transfer. Alright. Then I'll slide this heart in up here. Now, I like it going like that. Okay. Alright. So now Make a little bow here. Alright, and I'll just cut these off a little bit. Take some glitter dust here. Doesn't take much, and it sparkles. There we go. Okay, so I have this picture frame, and before anybody gets too mad, I am going to paint this, but I have a ton of these, like the exact same frame. So I'm not worried about painting one of them. I've already taken out the back and the glass. I'm going to set those aside for just a moment. And the first thing I'm going to do, even though this is wood, I am going to go over this with my clear primer. I'm going to use the Folk Art clear primer just to be sure that the paint sticks to it. So I am just going to go over everything, get down in this detail, which is really pretty, by the way. Which is why I picked this frame to do what I am going to do. But I'm just going to make sure that I get it pretty good. Okay, maybe that's not too much. I might need some more. Okay, so now I'm going to take the Waverly Chalk Paint and Cashew, and I am going to give the entire thing a pretty good coat. Now that the primer's dry, I should have said that, so y'all don't think I'm painting over wet primer. Alright, so I have the front and the sides painted, and it's kind of cool because even though I put the primer on it, like the underneath is trying to come back through, but it looks really cool. So, but I actually think I'm going to use some brown wax on this one. So I'm just going to dip my brush in here and wipe some back. See how this goes. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside, let that dry, and we'll start working on this. So this is the cardboard. It's pretty thick that goes in it. So I am going to take some black cardstock here and just trace and cut this out. Probably going to cut it just a little bit shorter so I make sure that it fits in there pretty good. And this little paper cutter, it really was not that much. I want to say maybe like $10 on Amazon. Okay. I think that'll be good. I think that's going to be good. Alright, so I'm going to glue my paper down here and well, try and grab a hold of it. Turn it over here and line it up. So I am, you've seen my other video where I did the picture frame, the little rub-on transfers of the cows. Yes, I love them. So that is what I am putting in here. So I'm going to kind of center it a little bit. I love this one. It is so adorable. Alright. Ankle stick. There we go. We need a bow. Well, over here. Move this napkin. My tail's kind of long. Rather them be too long than not long enough. I can always cut them off. Okay, I'm gonna cut this off. Little brown flowers here. I'll just use that big one there. I'm honest with you. And then this project will be complete.